Become the best.
Hey guys, Evan here, how are you all doing? So today's video guys is going to be about RBGs. We're going to be going over the macros, the spec I use, the glyphs I use, the rotation I use, and some strategies in RBGs as tank and both DPS. So first up we're going to talk about my spec. The spec I use at the moment is double time, second wind, disrupting shout, blade storm, mass spell reflect, and bloodbath. Now the reason I use these talents is because not only are these the best for DPS, but they're also the best for tanking. You may ask yourself how. Well, I'm going to show you some examples later on in the video how you can use these talents to the best effectiveness with damage and tanking. Okay, so next up we're going to talk about the glyphs. Now the glyphs depend on whether you're tanking or DPSing. Now you can switch out, say, Mortal Strike, and you could go for Shield Wall, but this is on a fight where you're not going to be taking heavy damage. Personally, I prefer these three glyphs because of the simple fact that Death from Above allows you to get around the map quicker as arms or as a tank. Now remember, you're going to be tanking as arms, so that's what I mean when I say tank. You're going to be using that as arms. Mortal Strike is also good because it also increases the healing you receive by 10% on targets you're attacking, which makes you really good as a front person to actually absorb all the damage, especially coupled with defensive stance, which reduces your damage by 25%, and 10% more healing is always a good thing. And obviously Bull Rush. Bull Rush is the best thing you can have in RBGs because it's going to keep your rage up. You might think to yourself, how can rage get you away from targets? Well, you could easily hamstring one person, hamstring the next person, then you could thunderclap, stuff like that. You can also use Sweeping Strike's Blade Storm for extra damage, stuff like that. And then lastly, the most important glyph for RBGs as an arms warrior is Glyph of Raging Whirlwind. Because when you use Raging Whirlwind, it stacks twice. And when it stacks twice, it's giving you 30 rage every 6 seconds. Now this is like a free rage cost of Whirlwind, because Whirlwind is on 20 rage and you're getting 30 rage, which means you've got more rage for other abilities like Overpower or thunderclap and stuff like that. The next one is going to be the macro. Now this is the macro I wanted to show you guys. This macro is pretty cool, it's pretty damn sexy, and I like it. Now the reason I've set it to 2 seconds is because of the simple fact that if you set it to 3 seconds and you get charge stunned, it won't reset by the time you've come out of that stun. But at the same time, 2 seconds won't come out when you come out of that stun either. But this is a good thing because if you press it straight away after you come out of that stun, it'll continue the rotation, and if you don't, it'll drop the rotation and reset it back to the start, which is Whirlwind. Now the way this rotation will work is, you're going to charge in, you're going to thunderclap, you're then going to use this macro and just spam it. That's basically it. You spam the macro and it'll use Whirlwind, Mortal Strike, Overpower, and then thunderclap. And it'll always keep going around and around and around the circle, which is really cool. Because if you spam this macro, you can effectively do 120k DPS, which is quite a lot. And I'm going to show you guys a quick rotation in a sec of me doing that. But also not to mention the fact that this is without CDs. You're doing 120k DPS without CDs, which I find really cool. Okay, so guys, the way this macro works is you're going to charge in, thunderclap, and then you're going to spam the macro. Ideally you have to wait 1 second. That's how this macro works. Wait 1 second after you charge. Thunderclap, then you're going to spam the macro, and it's going to use Whirlwind, Mortal Strike, Overpower, then it's going to thunderclap, it's going to Whirlwind again, it's going to use Mortal Strike, Overpower, thunderclap, and then Whirlwind again. And it's going to keep this little buff in the top right corner, you guys can see. And what that is doing is it's stacked twice, and it's generating 30 rage every 6 seconds. As you guys can see, the damage on the bottom, 122k DPS. Now this is without any CDs at all, guys. It's a heck of a lot of damage, which is really good for RBGs. Now you don't have to use this macro. You can use the rotation I said. You can charge in, thunderclap, Whirlwind, Mortal Strike, Overpower, thunderclap, Whirlwind, Mortal Strike, Overpower, and just keep repeating that. Eventually you will gain about, say, 70ish rage. Never let your rage go below 30, and you can throw in some sweeping strikes, or if you wait till about 80 or 90 rage, you can throw in some sweeping strikes and slams, which for that extra cleave damage. Now this is entirely up to you if you really want to do that, but this macro is also adaptable to the simple fact that you can use Blade Storm in between it and then quickly switch back to the macro and keep spamming it again. And the macro is also good for target callers, because half the time target callers can't focus on full damage, but this macro will allow you to keep up the rotation and having to focus on damage, and your damage won't drop at all at any point in the macro, which will pretty much mean you can focus on what target you need to kill. Now the addons I recommend for RBGs is battleground targets. As you guys can see on the side here, it has what role they are, what spec they are, and what class they are. It also shows colours of each target. It also shows who has the flag, how many stacks they have, and it also shows, if you actually put an example here, which I'll show you guys now in a sec. As you guys can see, there is now health bars. The grey part means how much health they have left, and the coloured part shows how much health they have. Now this is a good thing to use when target called, because it allows you to quickly switch between targets, and you can also quickly click on the targets and check which has the highest HP or what cooldowns they've used, etc, stuff like that, so it allows you to get back on targets effectively. Now in the same sense, you can also use this when the target caller is calling targets, and you can quickly click on that and switch to the person when you need to. Now the other thing is tidy plates. Tidy plates is another add-on used, as you guys can see here above the target's heads, and it shows greyed out parts on the side here. Basically I have another video which goes through my add-ons, which tells you how to set this add-on up, but basically this will grey out any targets that I don't have targeted, so I can focus mainly on the debuffs of the target I'm currently fighting. Now if I target this one, as you guys can see, there's debuffs on the target. Another add-on I recommend for RBGs is Omni CC, because you guys can see on the side here, when there's my battle show, it brings down a timer telling you how long you have before your next battle show, or CDs, anything you use, just so you can line up some extra damage. Another add-on I have is called Extra CD. What this does is it shows you when your weapon procs and lets you know when your dancing stills up, but it also shows you your equip trinket, which is really good because you can then know when your burst is about to come, line up a nice kill in RBG, and GG. Okay, so next up we're going to talk about flag carrying and guarding. This is going to be the tank part of the guide that you guys are going to see. So ideally what we're going to start off with the flag carrying. So I'm going to show you 3 examples of flag carrying that I did, and also guarding is combined into the last example. Okay, so here we guys is an example of the flag carry. I'm going to reflect up to stop that mage that's coming on the right, put the next reflect up and leap away. Use Call of Cold to slow me down after the blink, and use Blade Storm and grab the buff just to get through. Now this is a quick example of how to get through groups really quickly. Now I'm going to target the first person down here as soon as I can. I'm going to charge them, then I'm going to click the next target, quickly charge that, get through the group as quick as I can, watching the DK, make sure he's nowhere near to reflect me and grip me back into the group. And I didn't have to use reflect that time, so it's okay. In this next example I'm going to show you guys in a sec, I'm actually being trained by 4 targets: a druid, a mage, a warlock and a hunter. So here we go with the example guys, and this is how we get away from them. I've been frosting over here, so I'm going to Blade Storm out with that, which will then stop them slowing me at all, completely, for like 6 seconds. Then when I get out of this, they're going to stun me with then they're going to fear me, root me, deep me. I'm going to try to get away as quick as I can. So I see my healer coming, I leap over, safeguard over to my healer, make sure I have shield wall up just to make sure I don't die, and I'm away in a hack, completely safe. And lastly, it's going to be a flag carry, but it's also going to involve guarding, which is an important factor. Here the salmon roots me, so I'm going to ban straight out and I get away from capacitor. I'm going to leap over and I'm going to charge the nearest horde. Now they're going to root me straight in place here to try to keep me there, so I Blade Storm to manage to get away. I noticed that the DK is probably pretty close, so I'm going to put Mass Reflect up right now and get away from the target, just so he doesn't grip me back. But they smart, the mage ice lances me and the warrior charges me, while the DK grips me back, and I had to be careful here, so I charged back on the warrior and I hadn't disarmed, so that's okay. They stunned me and I trinket straight away. I put another reflect up to reduce any damage I'm taking. I'm being feared here, I'm berserking that, trying to get away from the group and pull back as far as I can away so I'm safe with my healers. But also making sure I'm close enough to the group so that my healers can heal the rest of the group as well. Now here I'm trying to get away from this DK because I know he's going to grip me, and I'm telling the healers and I'm telling my DPS that they're going to grip me now and they're going to put me on some damage, and they do manage to get the grip even though I said it. But it doesn't matter, I get rooted here, thunderclap before I actually get deeped, and I managed to get some damage on me. Now I put reflect up, and it's important to have reflect up before you leap away because people are going to pull you back, especially DKs, into the group and kill you. Now just get as much distance as you can, but also make sure you keep close to your healers. Now the mage and the hunter here are overextending. The hunter gets pulled back away from the group because he's almost dead, as you guys can see, so he pulls away so he doesn't die. The mage also pulls away because they were just taking way too much damage. And as you guys can see now, I'm pretty much safe, home sweet home, and the group can then apply pressure on the other team and make sure I'm safe. In the next part of the guide, I'm going to show you guys rotations I used earlier on in actual live RBGs. So as you guys can see here, I'm going to Whirlwind, and then I'm going to thunderclap, and I'm going to use Mortal Strike, and I might use an Overpower, but I didn't decide to use Whirlwind again, and I'm going to thunderclap again, and I'm going to keep that rotation up with Mortal Strike just to keep the heavy AoE rotation damage going on the targets. And as you guys see on recount, I'm actually doing almost double the damage of some of the targets here on my team, which is really good because it keeps a lot of pressure on your team. And as you guys can see, I was easily able to go into Blade Storm and actually do extra damage and then continue the rotation after the Blade Storm, which is a really good offensive ability to use, which is the way I like to actually use this rotation. It's just nice like that. And you manage to get 2 stacks back up here, and as you guys can see, most of the targets are already dead because of the pressure that was applied on the targets. I'm going to charge in here on the Druid because he's the easiest here to kill of the lot. Charge in, interrupt the Cyclone, and I thunderclap, pop, ulti, these sweeping strikes, and Blade Storm. Now the Druid's taking a heck of a lot of damage, and the spread pressure here is causing a lot of damage to the targets. The Druid dies, and then charge the Warrior. Now my bleeds are still in the targets, and as you guys see, the Priest dies because of my bleeds. We finish off the Warrior and quickly switch next to the Priest. There's only 2 targets left, and they're pretty much dying really quickly. We get feared here, but I just use Trinket and continue to attack the target and kill him. The mage is pretty much the last target left. We finish off the mage, and that's pretty much it. Just to keep the pressure on the targets and make sure you always interrupt healers if you can. Now the thing about the Bloodbath spec, I didn't get an example of it, but I just wanted to mention that the way the Blood spec would work is if you're being targeted by a DK, basically put Reflect up when a DK attacks you with a grip and he gets pulled to you and you Bloodstorm, this would slow down the DK and allow you to effectively get away without any harm. Okay, so guys, this is the end of the guide. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and hopefully you look forward to more guides in the future. This guide was also brought to you by the Gamers League website. Anyways guys, this is Evylyn out. I love you all. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next one.